Love, a precious gift, but also a journey full of challenges. Have you ever felt lost in your relationships? Or wondered how to build a lasting and happy love? Women often feel that men are an enigma that is difficult to decode. They remain silent when they should speak up, they rarely express emotions but act in unpredictable ways. Many women believe that men are indifferent, do not like to listen, need little encouragement, and are not afraid of being hurt. But is that really the case? Or is it simply that men express their emotions differently, leading to misunderstandings? In this article, we will explore 6 common mistakes women make when understanding men's psychology, and how to better connect with them. Welcome to the channel, Sophia's Knowledge, and my name is Sophia. This is a place where we share lessons about love, real-life experiences, and secrets to building strong relationships. In today's video, Sophia will reveal 6 mistakes that make women always misunderstand men's psychology. These are things you may have never considered. If you are looking for a deeper understanding of love and how to develop relationships, don't miss this video. Before we start, find a quiet space and put on your headphones so you can fully absorb every word I share. Relax and join me on this journey. Are you ready? Let's go. Mistake number 1. Thinking that men have no emotions or do not care. One of the most common misunderstandings women have about men is assuming that they have no emotions or do not care about the things around them. The image of a strong, emotionless man often makes women think they are indifferent, careless, or even cold. However, this is not the truth. Men also have deep emotions, they just express them differently from women. Why do men rarely show emotions? Men are taught to be strong from a young age. Society often places expectations on them to be resilient, tough, and independent. When a young boy cries, adults often say, "Boys don't cry." This gradually instills the belief that showing emotions is a sign of weakness. As they grow up, men tend to suppress their emotions, even when they are hurt or struggling. Additionally, biological instincts also influence how men express their emotions. Many studies show that male and female brains process emotions differently. Women tend to have better emotional communication skills, while men internalize their feelings. This does not mean they lack emotions, but rather that they handle them in their own way. How men show they care. Unlike women, who often express affection through words and physical gestures, men show their care through actions. They may not say "I love you" every day, but they will remember small details about you, fix things for you, take you out to eat when you're feeling down, or quietly worry about you when you're struggling. Men also tend to solve problems rather than just listen. When you share something upsetting, he may immediately offer advice or try to help, instead of simply listening and comforting you. This does not mean he lacks empathy, rather, he is expressing his concern in the way he believes is best. Men also have moments of vulnerability. There is a truth that many people overlook: men also experience weakness, they just hide it. They feel pain when betrayed, they feel hurt when misunderstood, and they have their own fears that they do not easily share. However, since they are used to suppressing emotions, they often choose to remain silent or find ways to cope, such as working more, playing sports, or immersing themselves in hobbies. If a man does not show much emotion in front of you, it does not mean he does not care. Sometimes, he is simply trying to stay calm, avoid showing weakness, or does not know how to express his feelings. How to understand and connect with a man's emotions? Do not force him to express his feelings immediately. Some women tend to pressure men to speak when they are silent. However, men need time to process emotions. Instead of demanding immediate sharing, create a comfortable space where he feels safe to open up when he is ready. Observe actions rather than just listening to words. Men often show love through actions rather than words. If he does not say "I love you" every day but always helps, protects, and stands by you when needed, that is his way of expressing love. Learn to listen without judgment. When a man decides to open up, what he needs most is genuine listening, without criticism or judgment. If he feels safe to share, he will gradually express more emotions. Appreciate the moments when he shows his emotions. If a man talks to you about his worries, stress, or feelings of failure, do not take it lightly. Cherish those moments because not everyone is willing to open up. Final thoughts. Thinking that men have no emotions or do not care is a big misunderstanding. Men also have deep emotions, but they express them differently from women. Instead of expecting them to show emotions in a specific way, women should learn to understand and accept their natural way of expressing feelings. When this happens, relationships will become stronger and more meaningful. Everyone has a different perspective, and I would love to hear your thoughts on this topic. Leave a comment below so we can discuss it together. Don't forget to subscribe to the channel to join me in future videos. Let's continue this journey together. Mistake number 2. Thinking that men always want to dominate and control. In many relationships, many women assume that men always want to be in charge, control everything, and make decisions for them. This belief may stem from traditional views on the role of men in the family and society. However, reality is much more complex. Not all men want to control everything, and even strong men have moments when they need to be guided, supported, and shared with. Why do many people think that men always want to control? The mindset that men are the pillar of the family or men must take charge has existed for a long time in many cultures. Historically, men have often taken on leadership roles, protecting their families and making important decisions. This has led many to believe that men always crave power and want to dictate everything according to their own will. Moreover, some men do enjoy control because they feel safer when everything is within their grasp. Some have decisive personalities, prefer solving problems on their own, and rarely ask for help. This further reinforces the belief that men always want to dominate in every situation. Reality: not all men want to control. In truth, not all men want to take full responsibility or control others. Many men desire an equal relationship where they and their partner share decisions and support each other. Men also have areas where they lack confidence. No matter how strong a man appears, no one is skilled in every area. There are things men are uncertain about, and they genuinely hope their partner will give opinions or even take the lead. For example, many men struggle with managing household finances, while women often have better planning and organizational skills. The pressure of always having to take charge, constantly having to make decisions and control everything can sometimes be a burden for men. In many cases, they want their partner to take initiative and share responsibilities instead of relying solely on them. This is especially true when they feel exhausted or stressed from work and life. Men also need guidance and companionship. A man may be confident in his career but clumsy when it comes to childcare or expressing emotions. He needs a partner who can help him improve in these areas. When a woman is perceptive enough to understand this, she can create a more harmonious relationship instead of trying to fight against his weaknesses. How to balance control and respect in a relationship? Do not assume that men must make all the decisions. If you always wait for a man to decide everything, you may unknowingly put him in a passive position or make him feel pressured. Be more proactive in giving your opinions, sharing responsibilities, and discussing together to find the best solutions. Understand each person's personality. Some men like to make decisions, while others prefer to share responsibilities with their partners. Instead of imposing the idea that men must be this way or that way, take the time to observe and understand your partner's personality. Create a balance between initiative and respect. In a relationship, if one person is too controlling, the other will feel oppressed. On the other hand, if both lack initiative, the relationship may become dull and directionless. The key is for both partners to find a balance between taking action and respecting each other's opinions. Do not confuse control with protection. There is a difference between wanting to control and wanting to protect. A truly loving man may care about your safety and happiness, but that does not mean he wants to dictate your life. If he gives you advice about your decisions, consider whether it is coming from a place of control or genuine concern. Final thoughts. Believing that men always want to dominate and control is a misconception that can affect the way women perceive relationships. Men also have moments when they want to be guided, areas where they lack expertise, and times when they need support. A healthy relationship is one where both partners share responsibilities, respect each other, and no one feels forced into a role. When women understand this, they will be able to handle relationships more wisely, making them stronger and more harmonious. If you're still watching the video, don't hesitate to comment continue. Share your thoughts and questions in the comments section. I'd love to hear from you. And don't forget to like, subscribe, and support Sophia to keep creating meaningful and valuable content. Let's continue this journey together. Mistake number 3. Misunderstanding men's silence. In many relationships, women often feel confused or even frustrated when their man becomes silent. They may think that he is hiding something, no longer in love, or simply unwilling to share his feelings. However, the truth is that men handle problems and emotions very differently from women. Silence does not mean they do not care, on the contrary, it may be their way of dealing with life's pressures. Why do men often remain silent? Unlike women, who tend to express their thoughts and emotions through words, men often choose to stay silent when facing problems. This behavior is rooted in psychological, biological, and societal factors. Problem-solving instinct. When facing difficulties, men tend to focus on finding a solution rather than verbalizing their emotions. They may see sharing problems as a sign of weakness, while they prefer to solve things on their own before opening up to others. Pressure from the manly role. Since childhood, men have been taught that they must be strong, resilient, and should not show vulnerability. This makes them more likely to keep negative emotions inside rather than seeking comfort or empathy from others. Differences in communication styles between men and women. Women often use words as a tool to express emotions and seek empathy. In contrast, men communicate more through actions. When they are silent, it does not mean they do not care, it could simply mean they are thinking or need time to process their emotions. They do not want to worry you. Many men choose to remain silent because they do not want their partner to worry about them. They believe that handling problems on their own is better than sharing and making their loved one overthink. How do women often misunderstand men's silence? Thinking he no longer cares. When a man becomes less talkative or silent, many women assume that he is no longer in love or does not care about the relationship. In reality, a man's silence is often due to him facing a personal issue, which may have nothing to do with his feelings for his partner. Believing he is hiding something. Women often tend to overthink when their partner does not share. They may suspect that he is keeping a secret, facing work problems, or even being unfaithful. However, in most cases, his silence is simply a way of handling stress, not a sign of deception. Trying to force him to talk. Another common mistake is when women try to pressure men into talking about what is on their minds. This can make men feel overwhelmed, and in some cases, it backfires, causing them to withdraw even more. How to understand and accept men's silence? Do not jump to conclusions. When a man is silent, do not immediately assume that he no longer loves you or is hiding something. Observe and understand that sometimes, he just needs time to process his emotions. Give him comfortable space. Instead of continuously asking questions or trying to make him talk, allow him to have his personal space. When he feels ready, he will naturally share with you. Listen when he is ready to talk. When a man finally decides to open up, the most important thing is to listen genuinely, without judgment or interruption. If he feels safe sharing, he will gradually become more open over time. show care through actions. Sometimes, a gentle hug, a nice meal, or simply sitting together in silence can make a man feel understood and comforted. Except that men handle emotions differently from women. Understanding that men do not always express emotions through words will help you worry less and avoid unnecessary misunderstandings. A strong relationship does not always require long conversations, it also needs mutual understanding, even in moments of silence. Final thoughts. Misunderstanding men's silence can cause many women to feel uneasy, but in reality, it is simply their way of dealing with life and emotions. They are not silent because they do not care but because they are processing their thoughts. When women learn to respect and understand this silence, relationships will become more peaceful and meaningful. Mistake number 4. Assuming that men do not like to listen. In many relationships, women often feel that men do not truly listen when they share. When a woman talks about something that upsets or worries her, a man's reaction is often silence, offering solutions, or even appearing indifferent. This easily makes women think that men do not like to listen, do not pay attention to their emotions, or do not value what they say. However, the truth is different. Men do not refuse to listen, but the way they receive and respond to information is different from women. If women understand this difference, they will feel less disappointed and know how to communicate with men more effectively. Why do women think that men do not listen? They do not react the way women expect. When women share, they often expect empathy, comforting words, or at least a sign that their partner is truly listening. However, men do not usually show they are listening by saying things like, "You're right, I understand how you feel," or "I completely agree with you." Instead, they may remain silent or respond briefly, making women feel as though they do not care. Men tend to focus on solutions rather than emotions. When a woman talks about something that upsets her, she expects understanding and emotional support. But men tend to listen with the intent of finding a solution. Instead of offering comfort, they might say, "Why don't you try this?" or "I think you should just forget about it." This unintentionally makes women feel ignored, when in reality, men are just trying to help in their own way. They are not good at showing that they are listening through words. Women often use communication signals like nodding, showing agreement, or repeating what the other person says to demonstrate they are listening. In contrast, many men listen with little visible reaction, avoid direct eye contact, or even continue doing other things. This makes women mistakenly believe that they are not paying attention, even though men are actually processing the information in their own way. The truth, men listen differently. Instead of expressing empathy through words, men often show that they are listening through actions. If a man truly cares about you, he may not say much, but he will remember what you shared and demonstrate it in subtle ways, such as helping you solve a problem or changing his behavior. Some men also listen in an analytical way, meaning they absorb information logically, trying to find the key points rather than responding continuously. This is quite different from how women listen to create emotional connections. How to help men listen better? Clearly express what you need from the conversation. If you only want to share and do not need a solution, state that clearly at the beginning. For example, "I just want to talk to feel better." You don't need to find a solution, just listen to me. When men understand your expectations, they will adjust their responses accordingly. Choose the right time. Men are not good at listening when they are busy or focused on something else. If you want their full attention, choose a time when they can fully focus on you, such as when both of you are relaxed and not distracted by work. Help him understand the importance of listening. Sometimes, men do not realize how important listening is to women. Let him know that simply listening, without offering solutions, already means a lot to you. Acknowledge when he truly listens. If he takes the time to listen and responds in the way you expect, let him know you appreciate it. When men feel recognized, they are more likely to continue doing it. Accept that men listen differently from women. Instead of trying to change how men listen to match women's expectations, learn to understand and accept this difference. Sometimes, a slow nod or a simple "I see" can also be a sign that he is truly listening. Final thoughts. Many women mistakenly believe that men do not like to listen, but in reality, they just receive and respond to information differently. They may not express empathy through words as women expect, but that does not mean they do not care. If women understand and adjust their communication style accordingly, both partners will be able to connect better and avoid unnecessary misunderstandings in the relationship. Mistake number 5. Thinking that men need less praise and encouragement. In many relationships, women often expect compliments, encouragement, and attention from their partner. They believe that men, being the stronger gender, do not need motivation or words of praise to feel confident. However, this is a mistaken belief. In reality, men also need praise, a lot, sometimes even more than women. But unlike women, who openly express their desire for attention, men rarely say this out loud. They may not ask for it, but recognition and encouragement from the woman beside them can strongly impact their confidence, motivation, and even their feelings toward the relationship. Why do women think that men do not need praise? Men rarely express their emotions. Unlike women, who openly communicate their needs, men tend to hide their emotions or do not show their need for praise. This leads women to mistakenly believe that they do not need encouragement when, in reality, they deeply crave recognition. Society expects men to be strong. From a young age, men are taught that they must be confident, strong, and independent without needing encouragement. They are expected to overcome difficulties on their own, without help or praise from others. Because of this, many women assume that men do not need validation as much as they do. Differences in how they express their needs. Women often openly express their desire for attention, while men tend to show their need for praise through actions rather than words. When they do not receive recognition, they may feel disappointed or lose motivation, but they rarely verbalize this. The reality, men need praise and encouragement. Even if they do not say it, men want to be acknowledged, especially by the woman they love. A well-timed compliment can boost their confidence, increase their motivation at work, and, more importantly, make them feel loved and appreciated. Praise helps men feel valued. Men always want to be seen as valuable in the eyes of their woman. When you compliment his intelligence, problem-solving skills, or strength, it makes him feel truly special. Encouragement helps men overcome difficulties. When facing work pressure or personal struggles, men do not express their frustrations the same way women do. However, a few words of encouragement from their partner can help them regain their spirit and keep going. Recognition from a woman matters more than from others. Men may receive praise from friends or colleagues, but compliments from the woman they love hold a special meaning. It not only makes them proud but also reinforces their importance in your life. How to compliment and encourage men the right way. Give genuine compliments. Do not offer empty praise just to make him happy. A sincere compliment about his appearance, intelligence, personality, or achievements will be much more meaningful. For example, "You're really amazing at solving problems. I always feel so reassured when I have you by my side." Encourage him when he needs it most. When men feel like they have failed or are under pressure, that is when they need encouragement the most. Instead of criticizing or blaming him, say something uplifting like, "I believe in you. You're always such a smart and decisive person." Praise the small things, too. Men do not only want recognition for big achievements, even small actions can make them feel appreciated. For example, if he fixes something in the house, say, "You're such a great man of the house, I wouldn't know what to do without you." Show your recognition through actions. Sometimes, words are not necessary. You can express appreciation through actions like sending him an encouraging text, giving him an admiring look, or simply hugging him tightly when he accomplishes something. Do not compare him to others. One of the quickest ways to kill a man's motivation is by comparing him to someone else. Instead of saying, "Other husbands do this or that," focus on the great things he has done and praise those. Final thoughts. The mistake of thinking that men do not need praise and encouragement can cause women to miss the chance to strengthen their relationship. Men may not say it, but they also want to be recognized, acknowledged, and encouraged by the woman they love. A sincere compliment or the right words of encouragement can not only boost their confidence but also deepen the bond between both partners. Mistake number 6. Thinking that men are not afraid of getting hurt. When it comes to emotional pain, many people immediately think of women, who are more emotionally expressive, cry more often, and openly show their pain. Meanwhile, men rarely reveal their emotions, making women mistakenly believe that they are not easily hurt or do not care much about relationships. In reality, men also experience pain and emotional wounds, but they rarely share them. The difference is that they express their pain in a different way, sometimes through silence, avoidance, or even by acting stronger to hide their inner feelings. Why do women think that men are not afraid of getting hurt? Men rarely express their emotions. From a young age, men are taught that they must be strong, should not cry, and should not show weakness. This conditions them to hide their pain rather than express it. When hurt, they often choose to remain silent or distract themselves rather than complain or share like women. They tend to act indifferent or unbothered. When hurt, men may act cold, distant, or behave as if nothing affects them. This makes women think that they do not feel pain or do not care, while in reality, this is just a defense mechanism to avoid appearing vulnerable. Society expects men to be resilient. The image of men in society is often associated with strength, decisiveness, and rationality. They are pressured to endure rather than express pain. As a result, even when they are hurt, they try to suppress their emotions to avoid being seen as weak. The truth, men fear getting hurt, sometimes even more deeply than women. Although they do not show it as openly as women, when men are hurt, their emotional wounds can last a long time and affect how they love in the future. They may become hesitant, afraid to open up, or even lose faith in love. Men fear rejection and failure in love. Men may not say it, but they are deeply afraid of rejection or feeling unworthy in love. When they develop feelings for someone but are not reciprocated, this pain can make them lose confidence and become hesitant in future relationships. They are deeply hurt by betrayal. Women often openly express their pain when betrayed, but men suffer in silence. They may not cry or vent about it, but the feeling of betrayal can break them, making it hard for them to trust women again or fully open their hearts to love. Criticism from the woman they love can hurt them the most. Men may be able to handle pressure from work and life, but negative words from the woman they love can wound them more than anything else. Statements like "you can't do anything right" or "you never understand me" can make them feel like a failure and not good enough. Comparisons can make men lose confidence. Being compared to others may not provoke an immediate reaction, but it leaves a lasting wound. Men want to be special in the eyes of their loved one, and when they are belittled, they feel inadequate and may gradually distance themselves in the relationship. How to avoid hurting men? Do not dismiss their emotions. Just because men do not express sadness outwardly does not mean they do not have emotions. Listen to and respect their feelings instead of assuming they'll be fine. Avoid harsh criticism or hurtful words. In moments of anger, women may say things that deeply hurt men without realizing the impact. Be mindful of your words, as a single hurtful statement can stay with them for a long time and damage their self-esteem. Show appreciation and recognition. Men need to feel valued by their partner. Compliment, encourage, and let them know that their efforts are appreciated. Do not compare them to others. Accept them for who they are instead of comparing them to other men. This not only boosts their confidence but also strengthens the relationship. Encourage them to open up. Instead of forcing them to express their feelings immediately, create a safe space where they can share when they are ready. Sometimes, a simple act of kindness or a gentle statement can make them feel understood. Final thoughts. The belief that men are not afraid of getting hurt is a major misunderstanding in love. Although they do not show it as openly as women, men still have emotional wounds that they silently endure. They fear rejection, betrayal, and not being good enough, especially when the pain comes from the woman they love. If women understand this and learn to appreciate and support them instead of unintentionally hurting them, relationships will become deeper and more enduring. Conclusion. Misunderstanding men's psychology does not only make it difficult for women to connect with them but also unintentionally creates distance in relationships. The belief that men do not have emotions, always want control, stay silent because they do not care, do not like to listen, need less encouragement, and are not afraid of getting hurt can lead women to misinterpret how men love and express themselves. In reality, men have deep emotions but express them differently. They may stay silent when facing difficulties, but that does not mean they do not need support. They may not talk much about their feelings, but that does not mean they are not listening. They also experience pain and emotional wounds but choose to hide them instead of showing them. Most importantly, they need appreciation, encouragement, and understanding from the woman beside them. To build a lasting relationship, women need to learn to see men fairly and correctly. Instead of expecting them to react the same way women do, try to understand them in their own way. When women truly listen, respect, and support men, they will feel safer in love, making them more willing to open up and commit in the long run. A strong relationship is not about trying to change the other person to fit our expectations but about learning to understand and accept differences. When both partners genuinely understand each other, their love will not only be happier but also grow stronger over time. Thank you for watching today's video. I am so happy to share these lessons on love and relationships with you. I hope you have learned something new that you can apply in your life. If you found this video helpful, don't forget to like and subscribe to the channel so you don't miss future content. Thank you for your support, and I wish you a wonderful day. Don't forget to love yourself.